can you do if hero's pose isn't comfortable for you? So use some props if you're in a yoga class and this pose is part of the practice. If it's your ankles that bother you, grab a rolled up blanket, towel, or even a second mat and put that under your ankles. If it's the knee flexion that bothers you, grab a bolster, block, and put that between your hips and your heels. That'll take some of the bend out of the knees. So you can use either or both of these props, and this will allow you to get into the pose for the practice. And then if you want to work on your mobility at home in your ankles and your knees, for your ankles, you can see the post that I did a couple of days ago with ankle stretches. If it's the knees that are bothering you, let's talk about what you can do for your knees. So if you have a foam roller, you could foam roll your quadriceps. The quads tend to be really sensitive when we foam roll, so I love something like this tiger tail, or maybe you have a stick, and you can do some self-myofascial release on your quadriceps. And then to work on stretching, it's basically like you're going to get into the pose. So you come into all fours, hands and knees, and then make it a dynamic stretch. So rocking back, going just to that point where your knees are starting to talk back, and then come out of it. So rocking forward and back in this dynamic stretch, or again, using those props, finding that last place where you're able to relax down into the pose and just work on staying here and feeling the stretch in the front of the knees. And then eventually you can make this prop smaller and smaller, and perhaps sitting back on the heels in hero's pose.